now the taxpayers have actually two options. Either they can take the benefit of a new tax regime which has introduced more slabs and lower tax rate, or they may stick to the old tax regime. So therefore the question remains that someone who has taken a housing loan for residential property, which one would be good for him? Now there is no standard answer to that, because why this new regime was introduced, the fact is there is a reduction in the tax rate, there would be a lower compliance burden, funds are not locked for a long period, there would be increased liquidity in the hands of the taxpayer. So there are various benefits for the new tax regime also. But as a matter of fact, it doesn't allow around 70 exemptions and deductions which one would have taken the benefit of had he actually used this old tax regime. So therefore, one has to look at his income level, the kind of investment he has made, or the spendings he has done, his overall risk appetite, and based on that he should ideally discuss with a tax expert and finally decide that whether a new tax regime would be better for him or the old tax regime. Now, what is, as a thumb rule, we can say that if someone is a salaried individual, he is getting a 50,000 rupees standard deduction, there is HRA benefit where he is paying rent, he is having LTA, he has house building loan, therefore for repayment of principal he is getting up to 1.5 lakh rupees deduction in 80C. On top of that, for interest he is getting benefit under section 24, and there are other deductions and exemptions like Mediclaim under section 80D. If all those things are there for a taxpayer, then our recommendation would be to go with the old tax regime. And if someone doesn't have all those deductions and exemptions, then possibly it makes more sense to go for the new tax regime. As a very thumb rule, I can suggest that we have examined both the regime and we realize that the difference between both the regime is around 75,000 rupees of tax benefit. So therefore, if one has to claim exemptions and deductions exceeding 3 lakh rupees, for him the old tax regime would be better. If it is less than 3 lakh rupees, and for that individual if the total income is around 15 lakh rupees, the new tax regime would be better.